I am your host, Zahid. At Conzia Podcast, we invite people who are building great applications in the Shopify marketplace. And today I am proud and I am humbled to be joined by a very young COO, Steve Young, with us. Welcome to the show, Steve Young.
Hi, Zahid. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. So Steve Yang is COO at Channel Will, and he is leading a great team, building a lot of great applications, basically dominating in the Shopify app marketplace in a lot of different apps. So we will know from his side about his personal journey, and then we will talk about the great apps he's building. So, Steve, run us through, like your personal journey. When did you join this company? What did you do before? What has been your journey in e-commerce?
Yeah, so before jumping into this topic, like running a Shopify brand today can feel like juggling fire while riding a unicycle. So you're managing logistics, marketing, your sales, return tag contents, and all while trying to actually grow. And we built a Shopify app that help D2C brands sell more, convert better, and keep customer coming back longer. So, so my journey into the e-commerce and SaaS, I've been into this industry about like 5 years so far, but I didn't start here. Early in my career, I led Airbnb customer service team for the APAC. Back then, we were starting from zero. I built a team from like 0 to 50 people, and we reached our NPS from like 40 to over 60. And that taught me a core lesson. So when you're obsessed with the customers, everything else, like the retention, reviews, revenue, and start to take care of itself. And after that, I tried to build my own business, a boutique gym. Yeah, so I put in my life savings, spent over a year building it. And just right after that, COVID hit, so we had to like shut it down. It was tough, but it gave me clarity. I realized I loved building. I want to be a space where my impact could scale like global. That's where drew me into the SaaS, and more specifically into Shopify. I live in multiple countries, and I saw firsthand how e-commerce empowers people anywhere to build something real. I knew this was the right wave. That's when I joined the channel Will, and we were just 20-person startup then. So my first job, I built a global customer service team from scratch.
Steve, these are great achievements, by the way. Congratulations. So I see like you have been through the whole journey. So you worked for big companies, you started your own company, and then you joined a company that was already having apps, and they needed, like a person, a CEO, COO who could scale up. Well done. So we would like to go a little bit more into details about Channel Will. Would you like to share with our audience what exactly Channel Will does? How many apps do you guys have on Shopify platform? What kind of problems do you solve?
Yeah, so we started this business like 2014 back then. And the first solution is the post purchase, which is the order tracking. Like a lot of people back then 10 years ago, there is no like a tracking page, which is the people buying things from online store. So a lot of people just don't like know like where's my order. So we have a tracking page which help people to just one click with your order, and you see that where your package is. So and just right after the Shopify has been like booming dramatically in the past few years. So Shopify, especially for channel world, is super vertical with the Shopify ecosystem. So we also had the apps like the review and loyalty solution, and also the return protection. Yeah, for channel actually we have over 15 or 16 apps total, but only we care about there are 4 or 5 for the core solutions, which is really can unify the customer journey. Also can provide with so many like different touch points for the merchants or sellers. They can increase their revenue, increase the retention rate, and also increase the repeat purchases and to turn this kind of customer into a loyalty advocate.
Well, 16 apps is a very good number, and I see like your apps are having tons of reviews on Shopify platform. So, what are the top three or four apps that you guys are focused, really focused on, specifically
Yeah,
into loyalty?
yeah. So like order tracking, return, and loyalty plus a review.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. So, run us through a little bit more on the loyalty side, because we see this is a very specific niche in Shopify. So, what exactly is your app doing on the loyalty side? So, what kind of the features you have for this specific app?
Yeah, I think I also posted an article about the loyalty this category in like a few days because I really had to deeply thinking about this category because nowadays people just talk about loyalty apps, but the fact is they're talking about the points, how many points that people earned, how many coupons generated from the our apps or like that. But I talked with a product manager or with a team, which is we're talking about the loyalty for the customer, but the seller really or the real brands is not just want to be giving the discounts or the points. I think they really care about is people can come to their brands often, but also this can make them as a your follower, as a fan. I mean, like some of them like big brands, like Nike, Adidas, or Alo or some Lululemon, right? So, which is how to make their customer become a real advocate or your loyalty member, not just by, just giving the points, giving the points or coupon like that. But that's also important, which is the at the first stage, you're giving the points or the coupon make people to buy again. But right after, you really need to think about your brand story, your like offline like meetups, how much of the interactions or engagement you with the customer. So I think for load app, uh, in the past few years, probably just providing with a tool for the Shopify brands, but we're also trying to make a community which the people can share with their strategy, like oh how I talk to the customer, how I talk to the consumers, I hold the events. There's so much of things to do that. It's not just about two. It's about the solid strategy. I think that's very crucial for brands to retain their customer.
I agree definitely. So the loyalty shouldn't be just, like distributing coupons or some discount codes. So run us through a little bit more on the customer side. So what kind of brands use your apps specifically into loyalty space? Are these big brands, small brands like Shopify Plus? So what kind of, like the customer base you guys are managing with these apps?
Yeah, I think the early stage, like back to like 2 years ago, most of our brands they are like SMB or like startups. But like since last year, I think we got more like bigger clients. Like the Co-Fundi is a brand which is the apparel or selling the clothes category. The revenue is huge every year, and I think they use up just because of the like the pop-ups, and the pop-ups can get the email address and also can integrate with our system to generate the coupon, and those coupon or those points maybe the seller or the consumers or shoppers can use it redeem the free products and also to get some of the coupon from there. So I think that's currently most of the brands operation manager, they really care about it because their KPI is the ROI for this whole website. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would also like to understand. You mentioned like there are a lot of loyalty apps that are there as well, and loyalty apps are not just distributing the coupons. So, and I do understand the Shopify app market space is also competitive. there are a lot of apps in the similar domain. So how do you guys stand out? So what are the top three or number one apps that you use?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Um, yeah, I can talk a lot about this kind of secrets or the cheat code, how to make your the app being a top in the Shopify. I think there's so many like strategies, but I can share some of them. Um, a few years ago, Shopify algorithm for the apps, I mean rankings, especially for the PRG mode. And if you want to rank it at the top three or number one important thing is the reviews, your comments, your reviews, your ratings. I mean, like this basically what we call the customer feedbacks, comments in there. By that time, how to gain more reviews at that time. One of the things I did was launch for 24/7 live support system, the real human agents. Because at that, back then, people don't talk to a robot. And it's a bit because most of them are business owner or kind of like the operation manager. They don't want to talk with robots. So, and I realized that. So real human agent and 24/7. But maybe we're spending a lot of money on that, but we get more of the reviews. You
Hmm.
know why? Because at that time Shopify visibility depends heavily on reviews and the customer ratings, and a fast high quality support directly impacts both. So we saw many competitors maybe buying fake reviews or inflating numbers, but we didn't do that. Instead, I implemented a strict rule internally. No one invites a customer to leave a review unless we've genuinely solved their problems. I think that's a long term. That's pretty sure a long term game. That long term mindset paid off. Within a year, several of our apps ranked the number one in the categories on Shopify apps. So, and in that ecosystem, being number one doesn't just mean a badge. It means the traffic, a huge traffic, and trust, but also for your app's growth.
I agree. So I definitely don't suggest buying fake reviews because Shopify system has been very smart. They delete tons of
Yes.
reviews. Even they delete the reviews which are like authentic. So if you are having 10, 15 fake reviews on your listing, you will get flagged and your actual reviews will also be gone. So I love the approach that you just shared, investing in people, making customer support really really good so that people can give organic reviews, because that is the complete science of ranking a listing on Shopify. So I would like to come back on the loyalty app again, so or in general. So what exactly is your pricing model? Do you offer free trials and then up people upgrade, or is there a free version which is lifetime free with minimum features? So what exactly is your pricing strategy for most of your apps?
Yeah. So I think not only for the loaded apps, but for the loaded apps, most of the pricing based on the your orders. But we also have the free plan, which is for the smaller users. They can start up their business easily. Yeah, and they don't feel any of the pressures or burden of startup business. But for over like startups or medium size, they just pay by subscription. Yeah, that's the mode one. And also, if you go over the order, like you pay for a pro plan, which is like $2,000 per month. But if you go over that, that may charge you for some of the additional, orders fee for that. But I think that's totally fine because people really care about peak season or not peak season. So they want to stay in a normal or regular plan, and they would like to pay higher price maybe just for the peak season, like the Q3 or Q4. So they may get some of the extra fee or charge, by the additional quota fee.
That definitely makes sense. So, do you, if I understand correctly, so do you also have plans where you take a certain percentage of the sales, or is it just the fixed fee, like per
Yeah,
orders?
it's a fixed fee. Yeah,
Fixed fee. Okay, you don't
yeah,
get a cut. You don't get a cut in sale. And
Right.
that definitely makes sense in this category. So coming back on the team as well, so you mentioned, so there are 50 plus people, if I understand correctly.
Yeah.
Okay, and in which countries they are based mainly? So how do you communicate? Is it a global team and you guys are remotely connected? How does this work?
Mhm. Yeah, that's a great question. I really love to talk about that. Chernobyl, like I joined with a team at that time, only 20 people, but like now we have like 160, and 106 people coming from over 11 or 12 different countries. They're from America, Europe, UK, Australia, and Vietnam, China. There's, yeah, they're coming from different countries. So we're totally a global team and a global company for that. And in terms about you mentioned about the how do I manage talk or manage a team or talk to them, the biggest challenge is the time difference. Yeah. So like we do sometimes, oh, you are based, everyone based in a, especially for the core members or the managers or you're from a different countries. But I think at the early stage, I think everyone maybe sacrifice a little bit. Like this month, the majority just follow the time zone in the US, and maybe next month, the majority of people maybe follow with the, APAC time, Asia time, or Europe time, like that. I think we're still defining our company as a startup. Startup means like, oh, we're gonna work. I mean, yeah, in the Silicon Valley, people talk about high agency, right? Which is you're self-driven. So we don't really do a lot of things like micro management. We want them to be your this project's owners. You definitely need to have that ownership or hold that, responsibility or accountability like that. So we encourage people to really work for themselves, and open-minded culture in companies is very crucial too. So I think like weekly meeting or monthly meeting, especially for the cultures, but the weekly meeting for the maybe team management, like what challenge or problems they probably like facing up, they can raise it to the team. We also use some of the tools like Asana or Trello, to collaborate with a different team in a different country, like that. But I think, yeah, uh, the company culture very important. We are work remotely, right? People need to really understand your cultures, your vision, your audience, customer feedbacks, make them more engagement, you know, not just the customer, but also with the team members, for the company, have more, closer touchment or touch base with them. I think that's very, very important because we're all human beings. We're not like robots. Yeah.
Yeah, these are very important points, Steve. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. So coming back on the company growth, so looks like you guys are growing really fast, and I can see that as well. A lot of apps, a lot of reviews, a lot of customers. So are you venture backed or are you guys bootstrapped?
It's fully 100% like bootstrapped.
100%
Yeah.
bootstrapped, and
Putting our money is paying. Yeah.
by the way, I love bootstrap companies. You keep full control and you just focus on building, building, building. So what exactly are the plans for the next 2 to 5 years? Where do you guys want to grow this company?
hmm Yeah, that's a great question. I think for the current stage, the most important is still the customer first. Yeah, because we're shifting maybe from the SMB to a little bit bigger than the medium size clients. So based on that, it really need the products team, engineer team, like high touch with us, fast speed, you know, like that. So which I think is still how shipping our products into the next level. So we are like hiring the talents people from different country. We're trying to make a solid team as well. And the second thing is because you know that for China where we have like so many apps, But also for core solution, we also like have like 4 or 5. The thing is, nowadays the seller, or the e-commerce operation manager, it takes a lot of time for them onboarding, learn how to use your app. Because a lot of people just, the market is super, well educated. They know, like, they don't tell them where's my order. I'm solving to decrease, the customer inquiries with it, where's my order tickets. They already know that. And for some of the very deep, features, very deep, customer feedbacks, which is your app with another app. I mean, the integration. Yeah. So, um, in a simple words, is how you can make the apps talk to each other. I will give you a scenario: is use a different app or solution. We can fulfill the thing like this. Oh, you just mark the get a package, right? So you confirm it from the system. It was marked as delivered. So this time you can make a trigger an action to the review app, can automatically send a customer a review request. And after that, when the customer left a review, you can also connect with the loyalty system, which is automatically generate the points or the coupon for this user. After that, the customer got the coupon, they'll probably be happy, right? They come back to your website and to buy things again. Yeah, so I think for next days, it's really important for the apps integration and really deeply talk to each other. And the final result is increase the revenue for the sellers.
Yeah, which is, by the way, I love the fact your apps have multiple touch points. And I also see one seller is using a lot of your apps, not just one app. So I think you guys are sitting on tons of data. You can see, like orders, you can see where exactly you guys are contributing the value. And I think that is how you improve the products. So, Steve, you have been in this journey for a long time. You have an outstanding career. You worked for big companies, you started your own business, and then you scaled up a company with great products, with a great team. So what kind of advice you have for people who are getting into this journey, who are building apps on Shopify or joining Shopify startups, like building teams, launching new products? What would you like to share with them?
Yeah. So yeah, some lessons from my journey. If you're listening to this as a brand owner or operator, you're building your own business, right? Here are a few things I've learned the hard way. The first is the shortcuts cost more in the long run. We could bought like fake reviews, but we didn't. It was slower, but the trust we built has made us unstoppable. And the second thing is start messy. I mean, just start. We launched the first app in a few weeks. It wasn't perfect, but it was like real. Action brings clarity. I mean, the fast iteration that makes things are changed. So, and the third thing is customer success is in company success. Every ticket is solved, every small win for a customer, it all adds up. And that's how brands grow from 1 to 1,000 order a day. So yeah, you don't need to build the next Amazon. You just need to build something customer remember, trust, and come back to. Yeah, and if any of our tools can help you to get there, I think then we have done our job.
Steve, this is a great piece of advice. I agree 100%. There is no shortcut to success, and you are building a company for customers. If your customers are happy, you are growing and you are definitely adding more value. So, on this note, I would like to thank you that you came on my podcast. In our follow up post, we will also include the links to your website, and we would encourage our audience to use your apps, test them as well, and specifically the apps that have free plans. So I wish you all the best with your plans. Keep building. Thank you so much for joining my show. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you too. Thank you so much, Zahid, and hope you have a good day.
My pleasure, Steve. Thank you.